All right, so I'm going to show you how to get your file into Sculpt GL so that you can work on it, and what you should do to make sure that you're working on it correctly and not getting frustrated, because it can be frustrating if you do it incorrectly from Tinkercad to Sculpt GL. So you should have in Tinkercad saved your design as 3D accessory, and then opened it up. It should be saved on your computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my scene. So if I go to the top in Sculpt GL and go to clear scene, it will get rid of whatever else was in that scene already. And then I need to go back into import files, import, export, and I'm going to add my file that I'm working on in here. So that would be the unicorn here. Okay. So now that this is in here, you need to remember, take the work on the rendering here so that it has flat shading, and adjust it so that you can see the wireframe as well. This will help you when you're manipulating your edges and your vertices, which, remember, edges are the lines that you see here, and then vertices are the little points that connect each of those lines together. So each of these little planes that you see, all these shapes, these are planes that can be manipulated. So once I have that, it comes in as a very low resolution, and I am going to, it also just puts it wherever it feels like it goes. So if you need to adjust it so that it's easier to see, you can do that. Oops. You can do that by rotating the little circles and such. Now, I don't think there is uniform rotation like there is in some programs. And then we're going to rotate this so it's forward like that. Okay. Now, so I did that by going to the transform tool. And then I once again adjusted using those other, using the circles on there to move it around. Now, if you need it to be symmetrical, you have to make sure you move it so that it lines up with the symmetry. You can see mine is not symmetrical. So if I want it to be symmetrical, I actually have to rotate it just slightly. Oops. And it might end up being a little closer to symmetrical. So there you go. It's still a little bit off. So symmetrical would be closer to here. There we go. I'm very close to symmetry now. So I could continue to work on this with symmetry. Now, remember, it's got a very, very low resolution right now. So if I grab anything from here, it's going to pull all of those vertices along with it, those edges with it. It might look kind of funky. So since I'm trying to put in more detail, I have to change the resolution. Now, it's got a very low resolution to start, so I'm going to start by going into a remeshing at a pretty below 100 right now. And when I remesh, you can see that it added all of these new edges and vertices. We call this subdividing. So it subdivided all of these to give me a higher resolution. If I do this again and I relax the topology, it will also give me a slightly different result. So now when I work on this, if I pull this out, you can see I can get more defined shapes. I can even go through and use different tools to flatten, to smooth, etc. And I can make this look more like a horse, right? So that's what you would do, is you just kind of play around with it. And as soon as you're ready to change the, because I can keep going with my resolution, I can keep bringing this up. I think it goes all the way up to like 400 or something like that. I don't want to change it though until I have saved this file. So every time you want to change your resolution so you can get tinier details in there, because I can only go so far with this map, this amount of subdivisions, I have to make sure that I save it first. So remember, to save, you're going to go to import and export, and you're going to save as an STL. This will guarantee that you can go back if you make a drastic error. Okay, so save it before you do any resolution changes. All right, and that's about it. For mine, I ended up doing 4 different resolutions for my unicorn, which ended up looking like this. So you can see when I change the rendering to be flat shading and wireframe, you can see how many subdivisions there are, how many vertices and edges there are. This has a lot of planes on it. So the more that you increase that resolution, the better it will look. Now, one of the reasons I say to save it before you change your resolution is because now that I'm at a really high resolution, I'm probably up to 400 or close to it. If I bring it down again, say I make a mistake, I go, oh yeah, I got to make this this large area here. I'm going to go back to resolution 67. Look what it does to it. It's not too bad, actually. Sometimes it's even worse. What if I go down more? So you can see it really, really breaks your form up. And you can't go back to your original Tinkercad form without saving. So I would highly suggest that you are safe and you save it before you remesh with a new resolution. So otherwise, you might get trapped in a zone where you have lots and lots of work that you have to fix and no time to do it. All right, so there you have it. That is exactly how you work Tinkercad. Remember to save it before you change the resolution. And if you continue working on it, then you will get a very beautiful looking object with a high resolution. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.